basic architect. Yeah, you know, I always start my videos standing up. I figured, you know what, for this video, let's create a nice, solemn, relaxed atmosphere. I'll start the video from the chair. We'll have a nice little conversation about what I'm going to talk about, and then we'll jump up and we'll get into the actual metrics and specifics of the topic. But, you know, 30 years of designing buildings, watching not only building technology evolve, but watching people's attitude towards buildings evolve, right? I mean, there's some things we put in houses now. When I first started out, the first or second house I've ever designed, we never even thought about, yeah, let's put that in the room, or let's put that down in the basement. Let's put another bedroom down in the basement. You know, now it's become somewhat commonplace that, you know, the basements are getting, I would say, almost equal thought to the spaces above, upstairs, in that, you know, costs a lot of money to build a house today. It's the biggest investment any of us are ever going to make in one single thing. And the beauty is, and, you know, you take a house like the one we're in here, this thing's probably about 3,400 square feet in footprint on the first floor. That's a lot of space, but they wanted to inhabit some of the basement. We took over probably about another 1,600 square feet in the basement space. The rest is relegated to storage and utility spaces and such. But the reality is that going down into the basement and saying, let's reclaim that space, or can I reclaim that space? Can I put another bedroom down there? Can I put a fitness room down there? And sometimes, you know, fitness rooms we're putting down there, but we've put rifle ranges in basements. We've put, you know, spaces down there where you can put golf simulators down there. I did a project for a homeowner where their son was an extremely good amateur golfer. And so we have a whole training facility for his golf game downstairs. But all of these things, coupled with our ability to manage moisture, our ability to put things downstairs now that aren't going to get moldy, our ability to condition these spaces, all of this stuff kind of couples to this kind of new thinking. And I say new thinking, some of you are going to say, well, we've been putting rooms in the basement for years. I get that. I totally understand that. But what I'm saying is we're now creating spaces downstairs that they certainly, you know, compare to the spaces above. So one of the important things in doing that is, if I put a bedroom down, like this is, you know, an additional bedroom to the house, a guest bedroom down here, well, I have to have egress for this bedroom. So that's the topic of today's discussion, is the egress well. So you can see we have our closet here. We have a little build out here. Now, the reason for the build out is, you can see there's a well on the outside of that. The well will have some steps so that somebody can climb out of there. And we also have a window here that we'll be able to open, climb out into the well, climb out of the well, and be free of any danger should a fire happen in the house, smoke detector goes off, and I can't get out the door. I don't want to be stuck down here. So, the numbers. We have this light well. The sill can't be more than 44 inches. Now, this is a little vague, and I've had this discussion with building inspectors, because the 44 inches says the sill height has to be 44 inches. Well, what does that mean? And that's subject to interpretation, right? Because you could say sill height, and does that mean the top of the sill here to the floor? Does it mean the top of the rough opening or the finished opening of the sash? Does it mean where the glass hits, right? Because all three of these I've had discussions with building inspectors. For me, sill height is, if I open the window, the highest part of the frame should be 44 inches below. Some building inspectors want to see the glass line below 44 inches. Some building inspectors are okay with the finished sill being at 44 inches. I use the glass line just because, even though I believe it's the frame, I use that. That way there takes all realm of anticipated argument out of the picture. But the number is 44 inches. The window has to be a minimum of 5.7 square feet, right? So this is a roughly, say, 3 by 5. We're 15 square feet here. We're more than adequate. 44 inches. Now, the window, I don't have the handle here, but when the window is open, it has to have a minimum of 20 by 24 inch opening. And it can be 20 or 24 wide, 20 or 24 in height. It just has to be a minimum opening of 20 by 24 inches. Orientation doesn't matter, but that has the ability for somebody to climb out. When they climb out, we need a series of steps that they need to be able to evacuate the escape well to safety on the outside. Now, the whole reason this is placed in the alcove is I piggyback that escape well. You can see it goes far beyond the window. That's because we have a fitness room on the other side, but in the case that either this homeowner or a future homeowner wants to wall that off, we have the ability to put an additional bedroom on the other side. So directly on the other side of this wall, literally about 6 inches displaced from this surface, we have another window over there. So we'll take a walk around and you'll see exactly what I mean. We come in here. Now, this is a large open space, but you can see here, like I was talking about, this is that demising wall behind that alcove and into here. And you can see the continuation of that light well. You can see this window is set at exactly the other height there. And although this is a nice expansive fitness room, we could wall that off. We could add a closet and we could get an additional bedroom down here. But what we don't want to have to do then is to cut a hole in the concrete and figure out how we're going to solve for egress. We're putting in that egress well. We were already digging it. You get a little bigger, pour a little more concrete, get that second window in, and now I have options. There's not a person alive that doesn't like options, right? One of the hardest things I think for clients to do when they're thinking about their house is to think about what they might do. I get those all the time. Well, what if we wanted to add this? What if we wanted to add that? I don't know. Maybe you don't need that. Maybe you do. But whatever, you always want to plan for options. So here, we plan for this fitness room to have the ability to become an additional bedroom should we choose to. So anyways, that's my little talk on basements, egress wells. I'm Steve Basic Architect. Yes, this is one of my current projects out here. Hopefully you learned a little bit about egress wells, a little bit about basement philosophy and history. If you're following me, thank you very much. I do greatly appreciate it. I love sharing information. I've been taught that information is not mine. It is there for me to simply curate. I take information in, I use it how I use it, and I send it back down the road to people like you. So hopefully you appreciate it. If you do, smash that subscribe button. Tell all your friends about it. Until next time, you know it. Long live our buildings. All right, so we jumped outside. We did a little talk on the inside. You heard all about that 44 inches. So this is our combined light well. Remember when I was downstairs, we talked about the window in the bedroom, the window in the fitness room, but this could also be a bedroom, right? It would have been very easy to say, oh, that's a fitness room. We don't need egress from there. And then just take this light well across and just have it for that one room. But planning ahead, if they ever wanted to turn that into a basement, and it certainly doesn't hurt to have additional ways out of a building in case there's a fire, we simply extended this light well out, and it is a light well. It's an escape well, but understand, it's allowing us to put in a 5-foot tall window there, which gives us a little more light, which makes that basement room a little more comfortable and adds a little bit more luxury to it. Now, you can see this is full. We still have a whole bunch of junk down there, but the builder has to add, we're probably going to add about 32 inches of stone in the bottom of this, bring that right up to just below the windows, and then we'll have a little ladder that has the ability to climb out, and people can go to safety here. So anyways, that completes our light well, escape well video. So hopefully you learned a little bit about that. You know, it's interesting, I'm doing a project in Indiana, and down out there, even if you don't have a bedroom, there's some jurisdictions now that are requiring an escape well from the basement. So they don't care whether it's a bedroom, family room, utility space, mechanical space. They're saying you need one egress window from the basement now because so many people are pushing to finish those spaces. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, drop a little note in the comments there below. If you're following me, huge thank you to you. If you're not following me, you know what I'm going to say. Smash that subscribe button. Give me a follow. Tell all your friends. Until next time, long live our buildings.